The Reds have finally found their Ibrahima Kanate replacement in this Liverpool squad, and that is Ronald Araujo from FC Barcelona on a season-long loan deal. And look, this deal has split the fans in half. Look, on one hand, some fans are delighted of the signing of Ronald Araujo. On the other hand, people are questioning the move. And look, in my opinion, I'm on the right-hand side of this. I do think this is a smart signing for Liverpool Football Club. I think it's a smart bit of business. I do think it is very encouraging for Andoni Iraola's side this season. And look, the smart decision from Liverpool is the fact that it is a season-long loan deal with an option to buy, of course, with the £55 million release clause, €1 million release clause in the contract. But if this ends up working for Liverpool in a favourable way, then we'll end up getting the better half of this deal. Because look, Ronald Araujo over the last couple of years has been known as one of the most best defenders in world football. But of course, with injuries that's happened to him over the last couple of seasons, again, the decline has slowly become a thing for him at Barcelona. But if he can redefine himself, if he can find himself again, he will be perfect alongside Virgil van Dijk. And look, when we talk about him being the Ibrahima Kanate replacement, look, they are very similar. They are very like for like. If we take a look at the data, they say it for itself. You look at the data graph on screen, both of them are very similar in terms of what they bring to a squad. Of course, both taken from, of course, La Liga and the Premier League. But as you can see, they are both very, very similar. Even when we take a look at the heat map, both of them are very similar, both very high in terms of their pressing, and both deliver massive amount of movement on the right-hand side of defence. And this will be a perfect solution for Andoni Iraola this season, where again, he'll want his centre-backs to be aggressive. He'll want his centre-backs to be in it 1v1ing and being the better of the of the attackers. And I do think Ronald Araujo can be that for Liverpool. I do think Ronald Araujo can be that guy to again be a solid defender for Liverpool Football Club. And not only that, the benefit for Liverpool this season is the fact that he can be a right back as well. And again, that's a profile that Liverpool have been after for a very, very long time. And I do think that is something positive for Liverpool going into this season. But I do also think, look, it does come with its challenges. Of course, I do say it's very good and a very positive deal. But on the other hand, of course, many people will be saying, look, Ronald Araujo, he has been injured for quite some time. Again, he's been kicked out of Barcelona's starting 11. This is the whole reason why he has joined Liverpool this summer. And look, I agree, that is a big point to why he has joined Liverpool over staying at Barcelona. But still, I would say, look, it is an opportunity. How many times have we seen, players that have come to Liverpool and redefined themselves and, made themselves at Liverpool? Again, you look at, for example, like Joel Matip, for example, come over from the Bundesliga and become a superstar at Liverpool. And I do think Ronald Araujo does have them capabilities to be the same at Liverpool, and I hope that is the case as well. But I do think this is more of a Ibrahima Kanate replacement than just a regular signing. I do think, again, the overall player that will be Liverpool's replacement for Ibu will be Jeremy Jacquet this season. I do think he'll have a massive impact on Liverpool's season. But again, having the depth now of Virgil van Dijk, Ronald Araujo, Giovanni Leone, and of course Jeremy Jacquet as centre-backs can only be a positive thing. While adding Joe Gomez to that as well, Liverpool have 5 centre-backs this season now. I think that is a more positive state to be in going into a very compacted season where, again, you're competing heavily for the Champions League, heavily for the Premier League. And again, we want these players to be regular at their best and, again, competing at a very high level. I do think, again, this will be the case for Liverpool this season, because I do think under Andoni Iraola, your centre-backs are needing to be aggressive. And I do think Ronald Araujo will be that alongside Virgil van Dijk when needed, of course. And I do think potentially against Newcastle, he does start against them potentially. Again, does depend on Jeremy Jacquet being fit at the start of the season. But again, when I talk about there being an Ibrahima Kanate replacement, again, he's a very like-for-like player. I do think that is something that Liverpool have needed in their squad to overall, again, complete the back line, really. Because again, when we talk about there being a right-back situation, again, being again better defensively than Jeremy Frimpong. I think as well, Connor Bradley, we don't know how long he's going to be out for. So again, having now a defensive-minded right back, again, could also be a good thing, especially at games like Arsenal away, Manchester City away, when you're going to be up against it. I do think that is going to be one of them decisions that Andoni Iraola will look at and be thankful for, really, that again he can make them decisions now for Liverpool this season as well. But of course, there are doubts about it. Of course, the deal, like I say, with it only being a year loan, of course, that £55 million option or million euro option, of course, it's something that Liverpool can look at. It's something that, again, Barcelona as well can also review at the end of the season. Whether or not they go and accept that type of deal, I'm not too sure. But I do think there is something as well that, for me, is very interesting. The fact, again, they were very, they were very open in terms of Liverpool pay the 100% of his wages. He can go, and be able to play for Liverpool, and that would be no problem. But I think the more positive note around there as well is the fact that he has taken a pay cut. That, for me, goes to show the desire of a player. Again, it doesn't matter that, again, it's all about money or anything like that. He wants to be playing football at the highest level, and he wants to be competing for every single trophy. And that, for me, shows more signs of positivity than anything else, that he wants to be joining Liverpool and being able to, again, thrive under the likes of Virgil van Dijk, again, playing alongside Giovanni Leone, Jeremy Jacquet as well. So I do think, Ronald Araujo, I think he will be a success at Liverpool. I hope that is the case, that we're speaking towards the end of the season. He's been a lightning revelation at Liverpool, and I hope that is the case for sure as well. But I do wonder what your guys' thoughts are down in the comments. I personally think he will be a successful signing. I hope that we see him on the weekend against Como, of course, in that double header. But I do hope we do get to see him at his best. Of course, we don't get to see that injury impacted seasons that he's had over the last 2 years. I do hope we get to see him fully fit and firing in this Liverpool squad as well. But let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments. Be very intrigued to know your guys' thoughts. If you have enjoyed this video, please feel free to hit a like, hit the subscribe button, and of course, share the video out as well. It's very much appreciated as always. And look, the content we'll be keeping up on the channel as well. And look, if you do like this little separate videos, of course, we'll be back with another one as well. We're going to have ones with Victor Munoz and the likes of again Trainioni and other players as well in this summer window. And hopefully, when Liverpool sign other players, we'll be doing other videos as well, talking about other signings as well. But look, let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments. If you're new around here, like I say, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Ta-ra.